Hi guys, welcome back to Ibby's Bookshelf. I'm Ibby and in today's video I'm going to be doing a quiz that's going to be showing me what genre book I'd be if I was a book. Now my favorite genre of books is fantasy, no doubt about that. I also like reincarnation, royals, historical things that with an imaginary side to it. So hopefully I get something like that, but we'll see. I might get something unexpected. So without further ado, I'll start the quiz. Okay, so this is the quiz. It is on BuzzFeed, and I really suggest that if you want to take the quiz as well, then go onto BuzzFeed and do this quiz. They have a lot of quizzes, not just about books. So there's about TV, movies, a lot of things. So I'm going to be doing this one. The first question is, what kind of movies / TV do you like to watch the most? Well, I don't really watch much TV to begin with, but all of these options look pretty good. So option 1 is something dark and twisted. Option 2 is something relatable, funny, or dramatic. Option 3 looks the most promising, something with magical creatures or a different world. Something with planet or futuristic technology, so that's like sci-fi. I'm not very sure about that. I do like some sci-fi books, but I don't think I've watched many sci-fi movies. Something which has a lot of plot twists. Now, I love plot twists when I'm reading, and movies generally do tend to have a lot of them. And the last option I absolutely hate. I don't like watching things that are like a documentary. I mean, some are interesting, but some of them just bore me, like so bore me. So I'm going to be going with option 3. So next picture is choose the picture that speaks to you. All of them looks really cool, but I think my favorite are the top 2. It looks, option 2 looks like a glowing orb, and it gives me like magical power. It makes me think like of a magical power, but I think I'm gonna go with option 1, which is a book, because it just looks so aesthetic. Which character would you like to meet the most in real life? Okay. Of all these characters, I'm gonna have to choose a Severus Snape, because I'm quite a big Harry Potter fan. What would my dream pet be? An owl or a parrot? A pack of hungry wolves? Do they have to put like a pack of hungry wolves? They couldn't just put wolves. A dinosaur, a dog, a dragon, or a cat? Now, the only 2 that stand out to me in all of this would be wolves and a dragon. But I'm going to choose dragon. Which of the following sounds like a great getaway? A secluded cabin in the woods? A lavish hotel shrouded in mystery? Somewhere where I can visit my favorite celebrity and hang out with them? I don't know that many celebrities to begin with, so not so much for number 3. Somewhere that's relaxing where there's no drama. Okay, maybe a little drama. In a space station, determining the next course of your hyperdrive destination. In a lush forest surrounded by fairies that may grant your wish. I'm going for the last option because it just seems like something I would want to do. What's your dream job? There's literally no competition in this. A teacher or professor. What do you not like to read about? So this is like not. I'm not a fan of non-fiction books about people's everyday lives. I want to escape. Yes, I so agree with that. I don't like to read books with painfully obvious plots. Yes, I hate it. Absolutely hate it when the writer makes the plot so obvious and you know this is gonna happen, that is gonna happen, or it's such a cliche ending. I absolutely hate it. I don't really like fiction. I'd rather read to learn something. No. I don't want to read to learn something. Obviously that's good, but I want to read something that's fictional. I cannot read anything boring or regular people. I want suspense. Yes, I also agree with that. I really dislike happy endings. Where's the fun in that? I kind of not agree with that. When it's a sad ending, it makes me feel a lot more, and I do become more attached to the book, I think. But when there's a happy ending, I'm like, oh, so the story's finished, everything worked out fine. When there's a sadder ending, that just makes you attached to the book more. So I don't know about that. I really don't like to read about magical worlds. It's just not believable to me. That last option is definitely not me. I love magic and fantasy. So out of all of these, I'm going for option 2 because I really do hate obvious plots. Which of these looks like something you and your friends would do? These are all fun activities, but I think the one me and all my friends have different tastes, so I'm not really sure. If we're talking about my best friend, then we'd either write together, which we actually did. We had this little thing where we were writing a book together. Like she would write one chapter and then I would write another. It was very fun. Or box it out. I'm not sure, but I'm going to go with writing together because we've already done that before. And lastly, so this last question. What's your favourite part about reading a book? I love when books make my heart beat faster. Yes. I love when a book makes me laugh and cry. Yes. A lot of people do think that it's weird that when you're reading the book, you actually cry. But I cannot tell you how many times I'm reading a manga or a book and I just burst out in tears, either because I'm laughing or because the main character or the villain or someone did something very annoying or heartbreaking. I love when I can use my imagination. Yes, I do like it when there's kind of parts in the book where I can imagine things for myself. I love when a book keeps me guessing. This is one of the reasons I love the inheritance games, because it kept me guessing at all those puzzles and at every chapter. I love when I can learn about someone famous and what they went through. Learning about someone else and their story, it's interesting enough, but it's not the most interesting thing that I would be doing. I love imagining what the future is going to be like. Not so much. I think out of all of these, I'm going for option 2 because that is really what I like about a book. So my choices ended up at fantasy, which is what I said in the beginning. I love fantasy. So the description they've given here is, fantasy books are filled with dragons, yes. Adventure, yes. Magic, yes. Knights, castles, and more, yes to all of those. These fictional books often take place in imaginary worlds with fantastical creatures that you'll be enchanted by. A few fantasy books are Harry Potter, I have read that. Percy Jackson, I have also read that. Game of Thrones, The Red Queen, and the Shadow and Bone series. Those last 3 are on my to-be-read list, especially Shadow and Bone. I'm reading a different book that's written by the same author, Six of Crows, and I am obsessed. I absolutely love that book, and I'm recommending it to everyone I'm coming across who I know reads, because it is such a good book. So I definitely recommend that. So that's that. Bye guys, and I'll see you guys next week. However, maybe not. We actually have a bit more time left, so why don't we try and do another quiz? There are so many quiz, I do not know which one to take. I think we will see what kind of reader I am, because I honestly don't know what kind of reader I am. So question 1, what's your favorite genre? Fantasy. That's like easy. Do you read fan fiction? Yes, I do really like fan fiction. So, how many pages are in your favorite book? My favorite book, it's not less than 500. I don't think. So, other. When do you find the time to read? Not in the tub, but during dinner, during school, you name it, I'm reading. So, tell me if anyone else is like that. What is the perfect reading environment? A quiet library is a really nice place to be reading, but all of these, except for in the public, all of these options do appeal to me. I don't have a special reading corner, but I do have this specific spot in the school library that I like to sit down and do my stuff in. Reading in a cafe, I haven't done it yet, but there are these places called book cafes that I really want to go to and just sit down with a book. My friend has been asking if we can actually go there sometime together because she thinks it would be so cool. But out of all of these, I think my bedroom is really the best place that I can read. Describe your favorite character. I don't think Harry Potter is a description, but powerful. My favorite character is always like the powerful person. Do you get book hangovers? Yes, I can. Like, there are some books that I'm like, after I read it, I'm just crying for a long time because something has happened in it. Do you take notes whilst you read? No, I actually don't, because I don't like writing inside the books or anything like that. But I do remember quotes and things from the books, and I do sometimes write those down on a separate piece of paper because they are funny and stuff like that. So I think this is the closest thing. It's not inspirational all the time. Choose an image. I mean, they didn't really have to ask. Library. BookTube, book, Twitter, or Bookiegram? BookTube? How do you feel about books that take place in another world? 100% yes. I love books that take place in another world. Because the culture and all the setting, it's all completely different from our boring old planet. And often there's magic in it, so I much prefer books that are from another world. Love triangles, yes or no? Yes. I'm not really one for romance, but I love love triangles. They just give the book that feeling. So I am the shipper. Okay, you read for those character-driven feels. We all know that fluttery feeling when your OTP ship has sailed. Your go-to genre is likely young adult, especially if there are good relationships in it. Not exactly. I mean, I do ship people inside my books, like the books that I read, but my go-to genre is not young adult. So this was partially correct. Well, this was fun, and that's all I have time for. Bye, guys. I will see you guys next week. I'm not sure what I'm actually going to be doing next week, so if anyone has any ideas, put in the comments a book that you want me to review or anything like that. Bye.